The most trustless name in news.
Everyone is waiting for tomorrow, the fateful day in which FTX possibly gets the green light to start the liquidation process on its crypto assets. FTX is the fly of crypto, swatted away only to come back and annoy once again. What's going to happen? Should we be expecting a market sell-off? Or is this just a case of sell the rumor, buy the news? We'll find out in about 10 minutes because it's time for Chico Crypto. So let us dive right into the facts of the FTX crypto asset liquidation because everyone has this completely wrong. Now, this was the first insight we received regarding FTX's basket of assets. It came in January of this year. Back then, FTX held the bulk of its assets in a mixed bag of altcoins on third-party exchanges, over $1.2 billion. Its next biggest position was Solana with $685 million. Then the exchange token FTT, $529 million. Next, Bitcoin, $268 million. Then stablecoins, $245 million. Next, Ethereum, $68 million, and so on and so forth. But what is that mixed bag of $1.2 billion? What is it made up of? Well, there was an earlier filing than what came in January, which showed that mixed bag. This came in November, and it included a whole bunch of Serum, MAPS, locked USDT, 500 million of it, Oxy, STG, ETH on Grayscale, Bonfida, FIDA, Rapsol, ASD Ascendex, and Bitwise Bittrust. Thus, that 1.2 billion mixed bag is mostly made up of their exchange coin Serum and 500 million of locked USDT. So what is the exact value of their holdings and how much of each? Well, from this FTX court filing, we can see that the value of liquid crypto assets grew from $3.4 billion from the January filing to $4.3 billion by April. AKA, it grew by 900 million. Was this the discovery of new assets or just crypto prices increasing? Well, we can see from the January 17th filing, when assets were $3.4 billion, Bitcoin was at about $21,000. Well, then as we can see on April 12th, the day when the assets were $4.3 billion, BTC grew to 30K. That's an increase of 42%. FTX's BTC holdings were 268 million at 21K prices. By April at 30K and a 42% increase, it would mean their BTC holdings were worth 382 million. This means BTC alone accounted for 114 million of the 900 million growth. Of course, this is just the same assets they had discovered back in January, increasing in prices. So how much of each do they have today and how much are they worth? Well, FTX's Bitcoin holdings were 268 million January 17th at 21K prices. Today, BTC is around 25K. That's a 19% increase. Thus, they actually have $319 million worth of Bitcoin today. Solana back January 17th was around $22, and they had 685 million. Today, with the news of the liquidation, it's around 18 bucks. This means today their soul bag is worth about 560 million. What about FTT? Well, January 17th, they had 529 million in that token, and it was worth around 2 bucks. Today, it's worth around $1. That would mean their FTT bag today is worth about 260 million. I've done the calculation for the rest of the coins. Today, their ETH bag is still around 90 million. Their Aptos bag is down to around 41 million from 67 million. Doge is down to about 32 million from 42 million. Their Matic bag is down from 39 million to about 20 million. BitDAO is down from about 35 million to 28 million. Toncoin is down from 31 million to 23 million. And Ripple is actually up from 29 million to about 36 million. And finally, that mixed bag on the third-party exchanges worth over 1.2 billion back in January. Well, as we found out, 500 million of it is locked USDT, and a large majority of the rest was Serum. Serum has crashed big time since early January, from 20 cents down to 3 cents today. That's an 85% crash. So we can come to the conclusion that the majority of the rest of the 700 million is SRM, which would put that number accounting for the other altcoins, give or take, between 100 to 200 million. Thus, the mixed bag is worth at max 700 million, 500 million USDT, and 200 million Serum and other altcoins. This means the total FTX sell-off as it stands today is not what the headlines are saying, like 3 billion or up to 3.4 billion. It's actually worth about 2 billion today, adding up all of the assets at today's prices. Now that we have the actual value of the assets, are they going to be all dumped tomorrow, September 13th? No, my friends, they aren't. First, this has to be approved by a court, and there's a possibility it doesn't get approved. Even if it is approved, from the filings on FTX proposed liquidation, we can see they can liquidate up to 100 million of the assets per week and 200 million at max given certain circumstances. And these possible sales won't even be including their Bitcoin or ETH. From the filing submitted just a couple weeks ago, we can see they are trying to get the court to approve them the ability to hedge their Bitcoin and Ether assets, aka not sell, but trade with them to increase their stacks. Although the most interesting detail is how they will be selling their assets. As we can see from the August filing, the sales and hedging proposed would be coming from an investment advisor. On page 6, it then says, the debtors are seeking authorization to sell their digital assets through an investment advisor registered with the SEC. This isn't going to be SBF or anyone connected to FTX pulling the trigger, but an advisor who is registered with the SEC will likely sell through their government-approved channels, aka not directly on exchanges, but OTC through tight channels, aka no immediate selling pressure. Why do I think this? Well, the filing also says this. They say, debtors did not publicly announce their proposed digital asset sales in advance. I believe that if they were to directly request quotes from and execute sales with over-the-counter market makers, they would tip off the broader market and move the market prices of the digital assets against their interest. This is known as information leakage. An investment advisor has a strategic expertise in conducting sales while minimizing such information leakage. They talk about if they go through their own FTX OTC channels, the market would be tipped off. But with an experienced investment advisor, their OTC channels wouldn't be leaked to the general public. Now, my friends, even if this is granted tomorrow, the sales, they aren't coming tomorrow. A Dr. Profit on the X app has a great thread trying to dispel the FTX fears. And he says, big warning for all that believe FTX is going to liquidate assets worth billions on September 13th. Don't fall for the trap. Even if approval for the sale of FTX assets is granted by the court on the 13th, execution won't transpire immediately on that day. Everyone that is sharing drama has absolutely no clue what he is talking about. There will be a structured framework to sell those tokens, such as 200 million a week as it was reported. And these sales will be through government-okayed OTC channels that won't have big effects on the market. For example, the US government liquidation of seized Silk Road Bitcoins back in March of this year. From filings on this, we can see they liquidated 9,800 BTC worth over 215 million at the time. What happened to the Bitcoin price during this time? No dump, but the complete opposite, a pump. So my friends, this is exactly what it seems. A sell the rumor, buy the news event. I don't expect a massive sell-off tomorrow, but the complete opposite. A pump to liquidate all the shorts that will pile up today and right before September 13th. Well, viewers, let me know your thoughts in the comments. How will you be playing this tomorrow? If you like the content, make sure to subscribe, comment, and follow me on my socials at Chico Crypto and at Leaks Blockchain on X and Chico Crypto on Instagram. And finally, of course, come join the chat on Telegram, t.me/Chico Crypto. Cheers. I'll see you next time.
The most trustless name in news.